Hello Stampin' friends and welcome. This is Dee Osburn. Thanks for joining me today on my channel. We are going to be making this card and we're going to be making it in several colors. I'll be showing you a couple of colors and we'll be making it in a different color. And we will be using a variety of products today. So if you like this video as you go along, please like, share, and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. And I will be sure and comment back to everyone who comments to me. If you feel like you would like to make this card, everything that you need to make it will be listed in the comments below, all the links and the measurements and everything. So you should be able to follow along and make this card for yourself as well. It was super fun to make, and the best thing that I like about it is it is a shaker card. How fun is that, right? Shaker card. Loving that. All right, so let's get started. I made this one in pink, and then I made another one in this soft succulent color. I like that one too. It's a little bit different. I used the smaller flowers for this one, and I used a bigger flower here. I'm going to show you all the paper and everything that I used to do this. There are more of the bigger flowers, and so that's why I used a bigger flower on there. So let's look at what it takes to make this. We're going to be using a lot of different products today, and we're going to start with the I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of the different things that we used. So lots of different cardstock. This paper, I don't know if you can see it, but it is textured. It's almost like tapestry, and it is from the Brushstrokes pack. Oh no, this stuck to it. Oh good, there we go. It is from the Brushstrokes specialty paper pack. I don't know if you can see that. It seems a little blurry to me, but that it could just be my eyes. I don't know. Let's see if we can focus that in a little better. Is that better? Brushstrokes design 12 by 12 specialty paper. So let's look at it. Let's focus again. I don't know. I think it's my eyes. So anyway, this paper is kind of a tapestry, and there's a Blushing Bride piece. It's 12 by 12. I've cut some of it off, so I don't have 12 by 12 anymore. But you get 3 sheets. You get one in Blushing Bride. You get one in, I believe this is soft succulent. Yes, it is. And you get one in Night of Navy. It's beautifully textured paper. It's lighter than regular cardstock. But it's a little bit thicker than like regular paper. It's so beautiful. I love it. When I first saw it, I thought, I want some clothes like that. It's really pretty. I really like it. So those are the 3 colors, and I made one in the Blushing Bride, one in the soft succulent, and I'm going to show you how to make the card, and I'm going to use the blue to make it. Then the other thing one of the other things that we use to make this card is the Hues of Happiness paper. It is stunning paper, just gorgeous. And this is the piece that I used, and I'm going to come back to this piece and show you what I did. But let's look at the paper first. So we used this piece, and then the other side looks like that. So we're gonna put that one to the side. Then we have this paper, and that's the other side of it. This paper. And that's the other side of it. Then we have a piece that looks like this. And that's the other side of it. And I can't wait to make a card with this. What a beautiful background piece, right? Then there's a very similar one, only it's got the darker color in the background. Okay, there's this one. And the back of that one looks like this. And to me, this kind of looks like, I don't know, like grass and the sky. I see like a landscapey kind of thing there. So that's that paper. And then there's a piece that like this, and we saw this one already. This was that piece. So let me show you what we did with this Hues of Happiness piece right here. So the Hues of Happiness suite comes with, where are they there? These dies right here called Blossoming Happiness Dies. And this is the set. These are the ones I didn't use. And so here are the ones I did use. So let's look at that. That's part of the set. But the ones I did use cut out these flowers. So there's this one, and it cuts that little flower out beautifully. There's this one, and this one's got kind of, you know, this leaf that's kind of, I always think of it as pointy, and that's how I match that one up, right like that. Then the big one, it cuts out the big flower. I use this piece. It kind of looks like, you know, in math, how you make braces. Well, that's that piece, and it matches that up just perfectly. And then there is this piece, which has this long, flat leaf right there, and that one matches that. Then it has some leaves that it cuts out. Let's find a spot where we're not too crowded. Okay, cuts that out beautifully. And then the double leaf one, like this one right here, cuts that out. Okay, so those are the Blossoming Happiness dies, and it cuts out all the flowers that are on here. Of course, obviously it's not going to cut the ones that are on the edge of the paper, but I mean, it could, you just put it off the edge if you wanted that little piece, right? So the Blossoming Happiness dies. Oh, I don't know why this isn't, I guess it's, can you see that? Blossoming Happiness Dies. Let's see if I can focus. Blossoming Happiness Dies. Okay, so that's those. Let's put those away. That cuts out all of these different flowers. And I used every single one of these dies because I cut out a lot of different flowers. On this card, I cut out the 3 smaller ones. And on this card, I used one of the bigger ones and two of the smaller ones. So what I did was I just sat down in front of the television and I, you know, cut a piece that would fit through the Big Shot or the cut and emboss machine, and I could just cut them all out and put them in a little cup like this. See? And then I have them all ready to go whenever I want to make something. So there you go. That's a good way to do that. Or you could use this paper for background paper. That is up to you. So let's see what else we need. So there's that Hues of Happiness paper and the Happiness dies. I also am using the Teacup Dies, which is a brand new well, all of this is brand new in the annual catalog that just came out. And here they are right here. And there's a lot of, you know, I mean, it's a teacup theme, right? But it has this wonderful little die right here. Like a little mini tag, right? And that is what I used to cut out the Sending Cheer little tag right there. So that's what I used for that. And when I cut that out, I found that it's best to stamp and cut so that your sentiment is far, you know, kind of far down on that tag, so that you can, you know, push it up under there and still see your sentiment. All right, what else? I used the Bottled Happiness stamp set. That's where I got the Sending Cheer stamp. Yeah, it is in focus. It helps when you put your glasses on, right? So Sending Cheer, I use that stamp. What else? I think maybe that was it. Oh, and let's see. You're also going to need this punch. Okay, this is the vintage shaker dome punch. So we're going to use that. And you're obviously going to need some vintage shaker domes. So they come in a little box like this. These are called vintage bottle shaker domes. And they come in a little box like this. There's 10 in a box. And they look like this. Okay. And so we're going to take one of these. Let's take one of these. Pull these apart. Careful not to pull the adhesive off. There we go. Make sure I only have one. Yeah, that's just one. Okay. So you need that. And those are the main products that I used. You are going to use some Balmy Blue, and you're going to use your some Memento, and you're going to use an Aqua Painter. Okay, that's one of the first things that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna pull that out and leave it there. All right, that pretty much covers it. So let's put it together now. I've done most of the cutting out. Well, I've done all of the cutting out ahead of time. So we're gonna put that off to the side. Here's our card base. This time we're going to do blue. So this is Night of Navy, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Then you're going to get a piece of basic white, and you're going to put it on the inside. And I'm going to do that later, but you'll cut that at 5 1/4 by 4, and that you'll glue that to the inside, and that's where you'll write your message. Then you're going to get another piece of basic white for your card top. It is also cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and that will be your card top. Now we're not going to glue that down yet. Okay, we have a few other things that we have to do. Then you're going to get a piece of the, oh, I forget what this was called already. This is called the Brushstroke specialty paper. And that is going to be cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And that's gonna be here, but don't glue that down yet. So then you get your bottle punch, okay? Get your bottle punch, turn it over. And you're just going to slide this down in there and just let it rest in there. And then you can judge by the sides. You want to have the same amount of paper showing on both sides. So you just slide that all the way down in there, let it rest. Okay, in there. And I think I need a little more on this side. So you just adjust it so that it's even. That way you know that it's pretty much in the middle. Then you're just going to punch it out. And then you have this cool little bottle that you can do something else with. I love that. I am totally going to do something else with that. So now I have 3 of those because I've made 3 cards. Look how cool that is. I'm definitely doing something with that. All right. So now you have this. Okay. So you're not going to glue this down. So I'm going to put my card base away so I'm not tempted. I am going to place it because I'm going to paint the water inside of here next. So I'm going to get out my Balmy Blue, and I'm going to open it up, get out my Aqua Painter, and I'm going to put a little water on the top, and maybe get a little bit of blue from the ink pad, go down here into the water. There we go, till I get the color I want. And then using this as a guide, okay, and you don't have to be exact, okay, you're just going to paint it and kind of see where you want the blue, right? And you can look through there like that. So I've just painted it just like that, using this as a guide, and then that has to dry. So we can't do anything with that until it dries because the little shaker dome won't stick to it if it's all wet, right? So we're going to put this to the side. well, we're going to let that dry. Okay, we're going to do a few other things before we put that on there. So we're going to kind of look at it like that. We're going to, oh, I forgot to tell you, we're going to use for the stems, this is from the Tulips Dies. This is from the Tulips Dies. It's the skinny one. And I have cut out 3 of those in soft succulent. All right. Hello, if I can pick this third one up. There we go, 3 of them. All right, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm not going to glue this in. I'm just going to kind of gauge it. Actually, I don't even need that. I can gauge it with this. So I'm going to take one of these stems, and I'm going to, one side is raised and the other side is flat. So you want to put a little bit of glue. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put just a small, stream, a small, line of glue on the flat side. Okay. And then you're going to use this as a guide. All right, so you're going to kind of do it like that, move that out of the way, and then glue that down. And then you'll put this on top. Okay, just kind of guide it like that because you want it to be in the right spot. Yeah, so I'm going to move this over now. Just a little bit so that when I put that on there, it's going to be perfect. There, see, that's going to be perfect. Why don't we go ahead and put this together while that's drying, all right? And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So you can get your pick tool. This works best with a pick tool. I usually do use my scissors, but this works fabulous with the pick tool, all right? So this shaker dome has an adhesive strip on the top side, and it has an adhesive strip on the bottom side. You're going to leave the bottom one, and you're going to go ahead and pick off that top one. Okay, just pick it up and pull it off. Okay, put your pick tool away. We're going to use the pick tool again later, so we'll leave it right there. Then you can just set that down, take your paper. It fits beautifully right on top. I mean, it just slides right on. Take your finger and slide it, to push it down onto that adhesive so that it sticks nicely. And I go around twice, okay, so that it's nice and stuck down. Okay, you don't want it coming off of there. All right, so now that makes it much easier, doesn't it? All right, so we're looking at that. I think this needs to go over just a little bit. So we're going to push that over just a touch. We're going to cut some of that off. It's going to be fine. Oops. Okay, beautiful. That's what I want. Because you don't want it to be, you want to be able to see the whole thing. If you can't see the whole thing, it's probably in the way of sticking it down. Okay, so now I'm going to take my scissors, and once again, I'm going to kind of measure. And right about there, I'm going to cut that off. Okay. I'm going to cut that off. I should have done that before that dried. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to get, if you don't have one of these, this is a rubber cement eraser or a glue residue eraser. And you can get these on Amazon. Yeah, and they're just called a glue residue eraser, or they are also called a rubber cement eraser. I'm just going to take that glue off of there because I don't want that on my card. That little thing right there, that's not going to matter because I'm going to, that's where the glue is going to go anyway to hold the shaker dome down. So that's going to be fine. But I don't want it along the stem because you know, you don't want all your beads sticking to it. It's okay if a few beads stick, but you don't want like a ton of them sticking on there. So try and get most of that off of there. Okay, now you got that one all cleaned up. We'll do the other two. Okay, you'll do that with each one. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to put this back on here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to take another one of these stems, and this time I am going to trim it first, because now I know how long it's supposed to be. So trim it, throw that away, take this, put a little bead of glue on the back, and glue that down. I sometimes use my scissors as long as you don't push too hard, you can use them for just like you would use tweezers. Okay, so since these are going in the same direction, I'm going to put this one close. Okay, and we're just going to check it. Beautiful. Okay, loving it. Get that off of there. There we go. And we can get this glue off there, and we'll turn it and get the glue from right there as well. Okay. All right, now we have one more to do, and this time I would like it to go this way. Okay, so I'm going to trim it, throw that piece away, put a little bit of glue on there. If you have tweezers, that's great. My tweezers are in the other room, so I'm going to use my scissors. As long as you're gentle, it works just fine. And I'm going to put this one right there. All right. And we will... Oops, don't want that to happen. Okay, take as much glue off as we can. Okay, and I'll use my glue residue remover to get the rest. Okay, all right. Let's get some of this glue off of here. There we go. Beautiful. All right, let's look at it. That's perfect. Yes, that's going to be perfect. Okay. So our next step now, this is dry and this glue is drying. So let's move on to our next step. All right, so our next step is to put this piece on top of here. And it's kind of tricky to do that because you want to leave yourself this bottom edge to fill it with some beads. So what I'm going to do is get my pick tool, and I'm going to pick right here, pick it up right here, okay? And I'm going to cut it, okay? Because I want this to come off. Oops, I pushed it back down. I want this piece to come off, okay? But I'm going to leave the bottom piece on. So I'm going to pull this off all the way to about right there, and then I'm going to cut it. So I want to leave that on. I will pick that part off later after I fill it. All right. So we're going to put some glue along here, but not at the bottom. We will come back and do the bottom. All right, so we're just going to turn this over and place this on here where we want it. Push it down just a little bit. Perfect. We're going to seal it on the edges, and we're going to seal it along here as well. Okay. Now, it's all sealed down except for this piece right here. See how I can put my scissors in there? So we're going to open that up with our finger and fill that with some sequins. We just put our finger in there to kind of hold it open. And very carefully, I have these aren't sequins, this isn't a Stampin' Up product, but you could use, I didn't have them, I really wanted to use the For Everything Sequins. It's in the annual catalog, but I didn't have any, so I thought these might look nice, even though there's a little eyeball in there. We don't want the eyeball, let's take that out. I'm just going to kind of pour some of these in here. I have some blues, and I have some whites, And we're just going to pour them in there until you get about that many. Yeah, that might be too many. Let's pour some back out. Okay, so pour some of those back out. Then what you want to do is make sure, see how some of them, I don't know if you can see in there, some of them went off to the side. You don't want those in there. Get those out of there. Okay, get those out of there. All right. And make sure that they are, yeah. So you see how they're in there good now? There's nothing in the way there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but then you'll take your glue and you're going to put some glue along the edge here. Okay, along the edge. And before you seal that down, don't forget to take that other piece off. So your pick tool works really, really good for this. You just reach in there and pull that off. There it went. See it? There it is. Okay, and then you can seal it down. All right, and push it down in there and make sure those don't come out. Seal this along the bottom. And if you get a little glue on the outside, like that eased out along there, you take your little eraser and you're going to erase that. Okay, make sure that that's nice and flush and flat. Okay, and erase any glue that got on the outside. I love this tool. Stampin' Up! Used to sell these, but they don't sell them anymore. I looked in the catalog today and I thought they still did, but I couldn't find it. But I did find it on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. And like I said, it's called a glue residue eraser, and it really does erase the glue. So, and then you shake all those beads down in there. Some of them will get stuck up in there, but that's okay. A few of them is okay. I think it looks kind of cool. So there we have that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put this to the side. Now we can start putting our flowers on there. And I was kind of torn as to what I wanted to do. But I decided to go with purple. And I'm just going to show you this real quick. This is something I just started using. You know, with COVID and everything, you know, we're just getting over COVID. We don't want to bring it back. We want COVID to stay away, right? And a lot of times when you're trying to pick up paper, it's kind of hard to grab the paper and you end up licking your finger. Well, that's kind of gross, you know, and I've been trying to not do that. So I got this stuff, fingertip moistener, and man, I love it. It doesn't get, you know, on the paper, but it makes your fingers just tacky enough that you can just pick those pieces of paper up so easily. I am loving it. So, all right, back to the card. I cut out a giant purple one. And like I said, the purple are the large ones. There's more of those than there are the small ones. So that's why I went ahead and grabbed a large one. And I got this lavender one. And what you're going to do with this, you don't want the stem because that's kind of silly looking, right? So you're just going to go like this and cut it off. Just like that. Okay. And I think I'll put that one right there. What do you think? I kind of like that. I like that. So we're going to do that. So once you get them kind of arranged how you want them, you get out your Stampin' Dimensionals. And on the big one, you turn it over and you only want to put them on the top. Okay? So you turn it over. You're going to put it like this, right? Is that how you want it? Yeah, like this. And you're going to put it on the top. Put one there. And put one there. Okay, take the backs off. Don't press it down right away. That way you can still kind of look at it a little bit. I want the big one to go onto the dome just a little bit. Okay, because it's a giant flower, right? And so it needs to be down just a little bit. And then this one can go right there. And this one we're only going to put a dimensional behind here because it can stick to that flower with a glue dot. So we're going to put that dimensional right there on the little pointy end. Went off the edge there. I'm going to cut that off. I don't want to see my dimensional. Okay. And so we'll put that one like right there. And then this one, I don't think we need a dimensional for this one. Maybe, yeah. Let's put a dimensional. This is how I did the other two. So I think I'll go ahead and do this one this way as well. You get your dimensional, take both sides off, get your, either your I always want to say toothpick. It's not a toothpick, it's a tweezers. Get your tweezers or your scissors and slide it up under there, but leave a little bit of it out so that this one can stick on it, okay? So we're going to turn this one, and we want that one to stick right there. I'm going to go ahead and stick those down because I know I want it there. And then we're going to stick that one right there. Then we're going to get glue dots, because see how it's kind of not sticking down right there? So you get glue dots. Let me find my glue dots. I know I put glue dots in here. All right, I'm going to have to go get glue dots. I will be right back. Okay, I've got the glue dots. I'm going to grab a glue dot. I use my scissors for pretty much everything. So I'm going to grab a glue dot and I'm going to turn this so I can see it. And I'm going to put one underneath the blue flower. And I'm going to grab another glue dot. And I'm going, oops. Hang on, let's put that where it belongs. Okay, and I'm going to put another glue dot under the lavender one. There we go. Oh, look at that. That's coming out so good. All right, we'll put our glue dots away. And now we're going to put the leaves on. Okay, so I like the dark leaf kind of at the bottom. I don't know why. I just kind of do. We'll push that back down in a second because I want that leaf to go up in there. This one I kind of like to go about right there. And I like this one. Get some of my sticky stuff there. See how good that works? This one's going to go in right about there. Okay, so now we're going to get some glue. And I'm going to get some of this sticky stuff on my, it's not really sticky. It just moistens your finger just a touch. Put a little bead of glue on there and slide that in to about where you want it, and then just press it down. Let's put a little bead of glue on this one and push it up in there. This one I like it to touch the bottle. Okay, and let's get our dimensional to stick down there, and we'll get the glue to stick. There we go. And one more. Put a bead of glue on there and slide that in where we want it. Press it down. Okay. Now, the last thing we're going to do, and I've already stamped it. I stamped Sending Cheer, and I stamped it, well, I stamped it first, and then I cut it out. And that way I could make sure that when I put the die on there that my sentiment is down to the bottom, because you're going to push that up in under those flowers just a touch, and you want to have a blank space to be able to do that. So I'm putting a glue dot right there on the back, and then I'm going to turn this so that I can push that up in there, and you want to be able to see your sentiment, so pull it out just a little bit, kind of move it over to the side. You just kind of place it where you want it and then press it down. All right, so it looks like it says Ending Cheer. There we go, Sending Cheer. We want to send cheer, not end cheer. All right, Sending Cheer, there we go. Sending Cheer. This one seems to be a lot further down than the others. We'll look at all three of them together. But we have one more thing that we need to do, And I bet you can guess what that is if you're returning to my channel and you watch my videos. I bet you can guess. It's glitter. You got it, because you know me. I gotta have my glitter. All right, so I'm going to take a two-way glue pen. Now, Stampin' Up! Used to sell two-way glue pens, and I had several of them, and I do believe in one of my last videos I said eventually one day it was going to run out. Well, that day came, so I had to buy a new one. And so I went online and I bought this one. This is a two-way glue pen. It says squeeze and roll. It's a zig. But it was really super fine tip. Okay, and it kind of just bubbles out. Do you see how it's bubbling out there? Like, what the heck? I don't really like this one. I do like the brand, but I don't like this one. Was I think it just said fine tip. But be careful. Oh, it says fine ball point. So be careful when you buy them. I'm sure that I will use this. It will have uses. But I don't really care for that one yet. I haven't found the perfect use for it yet. But I do like this one. This is a zig pen. And it says, let's see what point it says. I'm going to pull this off. See, it's kind of like a Sharpie kind of a tip. And it just says fine tip. Okay. And if you look carefully when you get them, you can get them on Amazon. You can get them probably, I'm sure, at Michael's or, you know, anywhere. Pretty much anywhere you can get one of these. Just be careful what kind of tip that you want. All right. So, actually, before I do that, I'm going to glue this to my card base, because if I get glitter on the back of this, it's not going to stick well. So let's go ahead and get it stuck down. You want to be a little more generous with your glue when you're sticking this piece on, because it's heavy. You know, it's got that dome, it's got all those beads in there, and you certainly don't want it to come off. So we're going to be a little more generous with the glue than I normally am. So then you put it on there and you make sure it's just where you want it and stick it on down. Now we can put our glitter on there. Look how pretty that is. I love it. All right, I like to put glue in the center. I'm going to put glue on all these little dots on this big flower. I go along the edges of the flower, you know, where the petals separate. Put some in the center, again, where the petals are separated. Here, it's kind of got some little streaks that come in towards the middle of the flower. So I'm going to do all of those. Put some right there in the center. I put one or two little strips on each of the leaves. And that'll do it. Let's put some glitter on there. And this is just fine glitter. Like I said, Stampin' Up! Used to sell this as well, but they don't anymore, but you can get it anywhere. It's just fine glitter. So then you just sprinkle it on all the places where you put glue. And I'm really generous when I put it on there, because, I don't know, I just am. I mean, it comes off, so why not, right? So you do that, and then if you don't have one of these, you should get one. If you're a glitter person, you need one of these. And I am definitely a glitter person. I just got this on Amazon. Or maybe I got it at the Dollar Tree. I don't know. But it's just a makeup brush, a really soft, fine makeup brush. And it is great for cleaning up this fine glitter. So I'm going to clean my work surface. And then I'm going to go on here. And, oh, looks like I got some glue there. See how that glitter stuck to it? I don't want that on there. So I'm going to use my red. Look at that. See? Perfect. And then I can get rid of that. I'm going to do it again. There's a little on the edge. Some in here. There we go. Oh, yes. I love it. All right. And I do think that we should put a few little rhinestones on this guy. Or gal, whatever. So let's grab a couple of rhinestones. and put them on there. These are just your basic rhinestone, basic jewel rhinestones, I believe is what they're called. There. Okay. Ah, there we have it. So fun. And it's a shaker card. So here it is in blue. I feel like I put it a little further down than I maybe should have. This one I think is my favorite. You tell me which one is your favorite. I like the smaller flowers, I think, a little bit better. And of course I love pink, so obviously this is my favorite. But they didn't have, there's not as many of the little flowers. So if you're going to make a bunch of cards like I do, you're going to have to utilize some of those big ones. And here's the third one, the green one. Oh, I love them all. I really do. I can't wait to send cheer to someone. I have 3 cards that I can send cheer. Aren't they nice? I love them. This Hues of Happiness paper is wonderful. I love the shaker domes. The way they fit is amazing. We had some shaker domes a while ago that didn't fit quite as well. I struggled with them, but these are beautiful. They are phenomenal. They fit so nicely. I am so pleased. I'm gonna have to get more because I love shaker cards. You know, it's like you can't hold it without shaking it, right? It's kind of a little challenge to hold one and not shake it. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that you will want to make one of these cards, and they're really not hard to do at all. And if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I'll be sure and comment back to you. Like, share, and subscribe. I would love it if you did that. And come back and see me. Have a great day.